Get informed at contentdelaware.org.
Well, there are a number of schools in Delaware that over a period of time have consistently not performed at the kind of level we want for our kids. And so we've identified some of those schools, and we've said that they have access to additional resources, but in exchange for the access to additional resources, there's an expectation of real change.
We look at 3 years of trend data, with the last year being the most salient data, or at a secondary level, if a high school has less than 60% graduation rate, those students are eligible for partnership zone. So what we're saying there is, what are we going to do to turn around schools that year over year over year have not performed well?
Even as a small school, and all of our students have some challenges in some way, we're still responsible for all of our kids meeting the same standards and expectations as they would in a traditional school. First with the DSTP and now with the DCAS testing, all of our students in our school is still held to the same expectations and requirements as every other school that exists within Delaware.
Steve and Ed were very discouraged when I came to announce that they were going to be a PZ school, and it really had to do with the fact of the size of the school, the identification of the students that attend here.
So our community was very upset by the initial announcement, and I would say that continued for a couple weeks until Secretary Lowry came, met with our school community, talked to them for almost an hour and a half, answered any questions, and I think the most important thing she said to our parents was, I think Positive Outcomes is a good school. We want the Partnership Zone to help you to become a great school. And that really was the resounding message that a lot of our parents left with, and said, okay, so you don't think we're a horrible school, you think we're a good school, we could just be better. And every school can always be better.
We're not trying to make one size fits all. It's truly about an opportunity for you to say, here's our strengths, here's what we do okay, and here's our true challenges. Keep what you do well. We're not telling you to get away with that, but let's look at where we can kind of dispose of the things that haven't been working well and replace them with some new ideas. So it's education, it's environmental, it's relationships, it's work, and it's external experiences. They really have developed a great plan that encompasses all 5 of those components for the success of students. I think when you take a look at that, you're going to see traditionally what the state wants to see was increased test scores. But I think what you're going to see is more holistic, prepared students whose families also can support them, because they've also given a great deal of financial support and a great deal of programming to the parent. So the parent can also be an advocate for their child. I think in a year, 2 years, that they are going to be a model school, and they'll be on that model school tour where they went out to see other schools are going to come see them.
Unfortunately, the way the system works, it doesn't measure progress over time, just absolute student scores. So yes, Howard was identified that as a partnership zone school, and we're making incredible changes in the school.
One of the main aspects of the partnership zone plan is the small learning communities. Instead of having teachers create 3 lesson plans and 3 separate assessments and using 3 different instructional strategies, we have them planning together to make sure that we have one that is of very high quality, will reach students, will make sure that they are, again, well prepared, that it's going to be a predictor from what it is that we expect them to know. The goal of the master schedule was to increase opportunities for students, and so we're looking at moving from an 8-period to a 9-period day. The third element of the plan is the Summer Bridge program, and the Summer Bridge program's intention is to bring students in, to acclimate them to Howard, to make sure that they're comfortable with their surroundings, and to introduce them and start the previewing process of what is required at a high school level. Using that model, we think that we can capture all students and meet the needs of all students.
At these what are called the Partnership Zone schools, there is going to be an expectation of significant change, and it's not just about throwing money at the problem, but really doing things differently.
And we believe, while some of these are going to be really challenging decisions to make and even more challenging to implement with fidelity, we are committed to making it happen because our children are depending on us.